The stranger in the shower. John lived alone in a small apartment in the city. He was not rich, not famous, and not special in any way. He worked a normal job during the day and came home to silence every night. He was used to being alone. He didn't complain. It was easier this way. One rainy evening, John came home from work. He unlocked the door, walked inside, and hung his jacket on the wall. Everything seemed normal. The room was quiet. The lights were a little dim, and there was a strange feeling in the air, like something wasn't right. He didn't notice it at first. He was tired. He just wanted to eat something and take a shower. But when he opened the bathroom door, he stopped. His eyes widened. His heart beat faster. There was a girl in his shower. She was sitting on the floor of the tub. Her body was wet, and her hair was dripping. She was not moving, just looking at him with wide, clear eyes. She looked about 20, maybe younger. Her skin was pale. Her face was calm but also sad, very, very sad. John was frozen. His mind tried to understand what he was seeing. Who was she? How did she get in? Was this a mistake? Was he dreaming? Before he could speak, the girl opened her mouth. "I don't want to be alone anymore," she said softly. Her voice was quiet but full of emotion. It was the kind of voice that made people stop and listen. There was pain in it, and fear. John stepped back. He didn't know what to say. He grabbed a towel and handed it to her without looking directly at her. She took it and wrapped it around herself, still sitting there. Who are you?" he asked. "I don't know," she replied. "What do you mean?" "I don't remember." John didn't understand. Was she in trouble? Was she sick or dangerous? He picked up his phone to call the police. But before he could dial, something strange happened. His phone got hot, too hot. It slipped from his hand, and when it hit the ground, the screen cracked and the back melted like plastic. Smoke came out of it. He looked at the girl. "I didn't do that," she said. "But I think it happened because of me." John was shaking now. This was not normal. None of this was. He tried to ask more questions, but the girl looked tired. She stood up slowly, holding the towel tightly. "I don't remember where I came from," she said. "But I know I didn't come through your door. I just appeared. I woke up here." "That's not possible," John said. "I know," she whispered. "But it's true." John noticed something strange on her back. Glowing marks, like symbols or lines. They looked like tattoos, but they moved slowly, like they were alive. He didn't say anything about them yet. The girl stepped out of the bathroom. Her eyes looked around the room, like everything was new to her. She touched the wall, then the couch, then the lamp. Every little thing seemed interesting to her. "I don't feel cold," she said suddenly. The water was freezing, but I didn't feel it. John didn't know what to do. He thought maybe she had escaped from somewhere, maybe a hospital or some experiment. But that didn't explain how she got into his locked apartment, or why machines broke around her. "What's your name?" he asked. She shook her head. "Do you remember anything at all?" "I see light," she said. "Stars, space, a long tunnel, and voices. But not human voices. Something else." That made John step back again. She wasn't lying. He could see it in her face. She was confused too. Scared, but calm, like she had accepted something deep inside. "I don't think I'm from here," she added. John rubbed his face. This was too much for one night. He didn't believe in aliens or supernatural things. But this girl, she didn't feel human. Something about her presence made the air feel heavier, more real, like time was slower when she was near. Still, she didn't seem dangerous. She was more like a lost child. "I don't have anywhere to go," she said, "and I don't know what I am. But I don't want to be alone." John looked at her. He didn't understand her, and he didn't trust the situation. But something deep inside him said, "Help her." Not because she asked, but because she was afraid to ask again. "Okay," he said finally. "You can stay here tonight, but tomorrow we figure this out." She nodded, grateful. She sat down on the edge of the couch, still wrapped in the towel, looking at the window like she had never seen the outside world before. John walked to the kitchen, poured himself a glass of water, and took a deep breath. This was not going to be a normal night, and something told him nothing would ever be normal again. She's not human. John couldn't sleep that night. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw her face, the girl from the shower. She was lying on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, breathing softly. She looked peaceful. But inside John's mind, there were too many questions. At 3:17 a.m., something strange happened. The lights in the room turned blue for a second. Just 1 second. Then everything went dark. Even the clock on the wall stopped. Complete silence. Like time itself had stopped breathing. John got up and looked at her. She was sitting up now, eyes wide open. She had not moved. But she was awake and she whispered, "They're close." John felt a chill in the room. "Who's close?" he asked. She looked at him. "The ones who want me back." John didn't know what to say. He opened the window to check outside. Nothing. Just rain and a quiet street, but she was already walking to the door. "I need to leave," she said. "They can't find me here." Before John could ask more, the lights came back on, but the bulbs didn't glow normal yellow. They flickered red and white, like sirens. Then, the television turned on by itself. Static, loud buzzing. Then a shape appeared on the screen, a black circle blinking like an eye. Kaya, the girl had remembered her name, stared at the screen. Her face went pale. "It's them," she whispered. Without thinking, John grabbed his car keys. "Come with me." They ran down the stairs and jumped into John's old car. He started the engine. At first, it refused. The dashboard lights blinked, like something was jamming the electronics, but then suddenly the engine roared to life. As they drove into the night, Kaya sat quietly in the passenger seat. Her hands shook. "I don't know why they want me," she said, "but I know they're not human. And I know I wasn't born like you." John looked at her. "What are you then?" She didn't answer at first. She was looking out the window, at the sky. Finally, she said, "I'm not from Earth." John gripped the wheel tighter. "Are you an alien?" Kaya shook her head. "No, not exactly. I was made, created, somewhere far, where stars don't shine the same. I think I escaped, but I don't know how." John couldn't believe what he was hearing. But deep inside, he knew she wasn't lying. Machines broke around her. Lights acted strange, and her body didn't feel like normal human skin. It was too smooth, too perfect, like something between flesh and light. Then it happened. From the sky, a red dot appeared, and like a laser, it moved fast, too fast. Then another. Then another. They were being followed. "Don't stop the car," Kaya said. Her voice had changed, stronger, colder. "What are they?" "Hunting machines. But smarter. They think. They watch. And they don't stop." The red dots became shapes, like flying black bugs but made of metal. They had no wings, yet they floated above the road. They were scanning the area. One of them turned toward the car. "Drive faster," Kaya said. John pressed the pedal. The car screamed forward, but the machines came closer. One of them landed on the roof with a loud thud. Kaya turned around and opened the window. The rain poured in, but she didn't care. She leaned out, her eyes glowing a faint blue now. She raised her hand toward the machine. It sparked. It shook. Then it exploded. The shockwave hit the car. John lost control for a moment, but managed to stay on the road. When he looked at Kaya, she was breathing hard like she had just run miles. "What did you do?" he asked. "I connected to it," she said. But it hurts. I can only do it once. Not again. Not now. John knew they couldn't go back to his apartment. He drove to an old warehouse on the edge of the city. It belonged to a friend who was out of town. Inside, it was cold and empty, but safe. Kaya sat down on a wooden crate and looked at her hands. I was made to collect data, she said. They sent me here to study humans. But when I got here, something changed. I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to finish the mission. What mission? John asked. She looked at him with eyes full of sorrow. I was supposed to watch you, then end you. Quietly, cleanly. They don't see humans as real. Just experiments. John stepped back. But you didn't do it. No, she said. I felt something. Warmth, fear, kindness. I felt alive. The rain outside stopped. Kaya leaned back and closed her eyes. I don't want to be alone anymore, but I don't want to hurt anyone either. John sat down across from her. I don't know what you are, he said, but I think you want to be human more than some humans I've met. She smiled weakly. Then her skin flickered. For a second, John saw wires under it. Lights. Not blood. Not muscle. She wasn't lying. She wasn't human. But she wasn't evil either. And now, they were both part of something much bigger than they could imagine. Memories from the stars. Kaya didn't sleep. Not because she didn't want to, but because she didn't need to. John watched her from across the room. She sat in the dark, eyes open, staring at nothing. Like her body was here, but her mind was somewhere else, somewhere far away. Then without warning, she spoke. Do you know what it feels like to remember something that never happened? John blinked. What do you mean? Kaya touched the side of her head. There are images in my mind, places I've never seen with my eyes, sounds I've never heard with my ears. I see a room full of light, machines floating in the air, a sky that's purple, not blue. And I see him. Who? She looked at John. The man who made me. John stepped closer. You're starting to remember? Kaya nodded slowly. It's like pieces of a puzzle, coming together. I wasn't born. I wasn't even built like a robot. I was grown in something like a pod, with wires in my skin. They didn't teach me with books. They uploaded knowledge into my mind, files, data, emotions. She paused. Her voice dropped. But one file was different. One wasn't like the others. It was a memory of a girl. John leaned in. A human girl? Kaya nodded. She looked like me. Same face, same voice. But she was real. She lived. She laughed. She loved. And then she died. In space. Alone. John felt a chill run down his spine. They copied her, Kaya said. They made me using her face, her memories, but not her soul. Kaya stood up now, her eyes glowing faint blue again. I think I'm her second chance. But I don't know why. John didn't know what to say. This wasn't just about aliens anymore. This was personal, deep, almost spiritual. Then Kaya turned to him. Do you believe memories can travel across stars? She asked. I believe you, John said. That's enough for me. Suddenly Kaya gasped and dropped to her knees. Her body trembled, her hands clutched her head. What's happening? John rushed to her side. It's more coming back. She was shaking now. Her voice was layered, like two voices speaking at once. One hers, the other, something else. They used my mind. As a container, she said. A storage box for something dangerous. John helped her sit up. What is it? He asked. What's inside you? Kaya looked at him, her eyes full of fear. I don't know. But it's not just memories anymore. It's something alive. John took a step back. You mean like a being? No, Kaya said. Like a signal, like a warning, like a storm waiting to wake up. There was a long silence between them. Finally, John said, We need answers. Real ones. Kaya nodded. There's a place, a man, someone who knew about the project. I don't know his name, but I remember his face. A scar on his neck. He used to work with someone named Grant. John froze. My dad's name was Grant, he said. He died 5 years ago. Kaya stared at him. Then maybe that's why I found you, she whispered. Maybe it wasn't a mistake. John walked to a locked metal box his dad had left behind before he died. He never opened it, not even once. He always thought it was just old war stuff, but now something told him to open it. Inside, there were files. Old papers, photos, a folder labeled Project Echo. John opened the folder. His hands were shaking. Inside were documents showing a young man with a scarred neck, notes about foreign intelligence, diagrams of something called a neural core host. Kaya's eyes went wide. That's me, she whispered. John found one more paper, a small photo of his dad with 2 other people, and in the background, a blurry figure that looked exactly like Kaya. This picture is from 20 years ago, John said. Kaya touched the photo gently. I was there, she whispered. I've been here before. John looked at her. You've been here longer than you thought. Kaya nodded. I wasn't sent just once. I escaped before. They brought me back and erased me. Her voice broke. I'm not just running from them. I'm running from what they made me become. John closed the folder. We'll find out the truth, he said. Together. Kaya smiled. It was weak but real. Then she said something that chilled John to the bone. They're not just hunting me anymore. He frowned. What do you mean? They saw inside you, Kaya said softly. When you helped me, when you touched the truth, they marked you too. The first contact files. The first time John saw the file labeled classified, not human, he thought it was a joke. But it wasn't. It was real. The paper was old, yellow, and marked with symbols he didn't recognize, not from any language he had ever seen. The letters glowed faintly, just like Kaya's skin did in the dark. The deeper he read, the stranger it got. His father had known. Not just about aliens. Not just about Kaya. He had known about first contact and helped cover it up. John sat on the floor of the dusty warehouse, surrounded by files from the locked box. Kaya stood nearby, silent, watching his reaction. Your dad was part of it, she said. He saw the truth. He worked with the people who created me. John looked up. His hands were shaking. This doesn't make sense. My dad was just a soldier. A quiet man. He hated secrets. Kaya shook her head. He didn't hate secrets. He protected them. She picked up a black and white photo. 3 people stood in it. A younger version of John's dad, a woman with sharp eyes, and the scarred man Kaya had described. That man, she said, pointing. He was one of the founders of Project Echo. He believed we could blend into humanity, study it, become it. But something went wrong, didn't it? John asked. Kaya nodded. They created too many and lost control. John opened another file. This one had drawings, sketches of artificial brains, alien organs, and something, labeled Host Memory Layer Gen 4 Clone Variant. Underneath, in rough handwriting, were 5 words. Do not let her remember. Kaya stepped back, her breath catching in her throat. They didn't just make me to learn, she whispered. They made me to forget. Over and over again. John looked up at her. What happens when you remember everything? Kaya looked toward the ceiling like she could see the stars through the roof. I wake up. She said it so calmly, but it didn't sound peaceful. It sounded like a warning. Just then, the lights in the warehouse flickered. A slow humming filled the air. Not from outside, but from inside Kaya. She clutched her chest. It's starting, she said. John stood up. What's starting? The reboot. Suddenly her voice changed. Deep, robotic, layered with echoes. Core data unlocked. Fragmented memory restored. Scanning host environment. Danger detected. Then, silence. Kaya fell to the ground. John rushed to her. Her eyes were open but glowing like two small suns. He didn't know what to do. He grabbed her hand. Kaya, come back. You're still you. For a second, nothing happened. Then, her eyes dimmed. Her body stopped shaking. She sat up slowly, looking around like she had just returned from a long journey. I saw it, she whispered. Everything. John helped her sit up. What did you see? Kaya looked at him. I wasn't just made from one girl, I was made from hundreds. Dead girls, missing girls. They copied their minds, their pain, their love, and put it all into me. John stepped back. That's why I feel so human, Kaya said. Because I carry real human pieces inside me. Then her voice cracked. And I remember now. I remember, your dad. He helped me escape. Twice. He tried to shut the project down. That's why they killed him. John stared at her. You're saying, my dad didn't die in a car crash? Kaya nodded. He was erased, just like they tried to erase me. A loud bang outside stopped them cold. John ran to the window. 3 black SUVs were pulling up near the warehouse. No logos, no license plates. They found us, Kaya whispered. John grabbed the files, stuffing them into a backpack. We can't run forever, he said. We don't have to, Kaya replied. He turned to her. Why not? Kaya's eyes glowed again. Because I just remembered where the main lab is. John blinked. You mean the place where they made you? Kaya nodded. And where they're building others? More like me, but not like me. No emotion, no limits. John zipped the bag shut. Then we end it. Kaya smiled. We don't run anymore. And in that moment, for the first time, John wasn't afraid of her. He was afraid for her, because now he knew. She was humanity's last hope to stop something much worse. The lab beneath the mountain. The mountain wasn't on any map. No name, no roads. Just a silent giant covered in fog, deep in a forgotten forest. And somewhere beneath it was the place Kaya was made. They stood at the edge of the woods. John stared at the steep path ahead. Kaya stood beside him, quiet, her eyes scanning the trees. We're being watched, she said. John nodded. I can feel it too. They moved fast but careful. Kaya remembered pieces, flashes of steel doors, bright lights, cold voices. The closer they got, the more she shook. Not from fear, but from something deeper. Her mind was waking up again. After 2 hours of climbing, they found the door. It wasn't visible at first, just a rock wall. But Kaya placed her hand against the stone and it shimmered, turning clear for a second. Then it opened, a hidden door. John stared. How did you know that would work? Kaya didn't answer. Her eyes had changed again, brighter, sharper, like someone else was in control. I've been here before, she said. They entered a dark tunnel. Cold air rushed past them, carrying a strange smell, metal and ash. As they walked deeper, lights on the walls blinked on one by one. Red lights. Warning lights. Suddenly, a voice echoed through the hallway. Welcome back, Subject K9. John froze. Kaya didn't flinch. I'm not your subject anymore, she said aloud. The voice replied, We disagree. John turned to her. What is this place, really? Kaya stopped walking. This is where they made soldiers. Machines with hearts, but not souls. I was the only one who rejected the mission. They reached a door, marked Core Lab. Kaya touched the panel. It scanned her hand, then it hissed open. Inside were pods, dozens of them, each one holding a girl. Same face, same eyes, same body, all Kaya. John stepped back. They cloned you? Kaya nodded slowly. They failed too many times, so they copied me instead of starting over. But these, they're not me. They're empty. Suddenly the lights turned white. Bright. Blinding. Then came the voice again. You've brought him here, Kaya. The last piece. John stepped forward. What do they want from me? Kaya whispered. You're the only living link to your father, and he hid something inside you. John looked at her. What do you mean inside me? She placed a hand on his chest. There's a code, a lock. It's in your DNA. Your dad trusted you, even if you didn't know it. John was stunned. Before he could speak, a loud crash shook the room. One of the pods burst open. A girl stepped out. She looked exactly like Kaya, but her eyes were red, and she smiled. Not kindly. She looked at Kaya. Hello, sister. Kaya stepped back. You're one of the war models. The clone tilted her head. I am the perfect model. John pulled Kaya behind him. We need to leave. The clone walked slowly, calmly. You can't run now. He's already unlocked it. John felt something burn inside his chest, a sharp pain. Kaya turned to him. They're trying to use your body to activate the core to wake up the rest. John dropped to one knee, gasping. The clone laughed. You're the key, the boy with the blood that speaks. Kaya's hand glowed bright blue. Not if I shut the system down first. She touched a wall panel. Her hand sank inside it like water. All the lights turned blue. A loud alarm screamed. System override. A robotic voice said. Kaya screamed in pain. John grabbed her. Let go, it's killing you. No, Kaya gasped. It's setting them free. Suddenly, all the pods began to melt, not open but dissolve. The clone screamed in rage. No, you're ruining everything. Kaya pulled her hand free. Thy room shook again. She looked at John, weak but standing. I stopped the awakening. But we have to go now. This whole place is collapsing. As they ran back through the hallway, the ceiling cracked. Rocks fell. The lab was dying. Outside, the mountain groaned like a living thing. They barely made it out before the entrance caved in. John and Kaya lay on the ground, breathing hard. The mountain was silent again. But Kaya knew it wasn't over. There are more like her, she said. Hiding, watching. John looked at her. And what about you? Kaya looked at the stars. I was made in that lab. But I chose something different. Then she looked at him. I chose you. The ones who watch. The letter arrived with no stamp. No return address. Just a silver envelope left on the doorstep of the motel where John and Kaya were hiding. John opened it. Inside was a photo, taken from above, like from a drone or satellite. It showed him and Kaya standing outside, the destroyed lab. On the back, a message in perfect handwriting. We saw what you did. We need to talk. Kaya looked at the photo. They found us. John frowned. The people from the lab? Kaya shook her head. No, someone older. Someone watching the lab, and us, from the shadows. They followed the coordinates, written below the message. It led them to a small town in the desert, empty, dead quiet, no cars, no people, just dust and heat. At the center of town stood a church, not old, not new, just there, like it had always been. Inside, a man waited, tall, thin, wearing a black suit with no buttons. His eyes were silver, not gray, not blue, silver, like mirrors. Welcome, he said. We've been waiting for you. Kaya stepped forward. Who are you? The man smiled. We are called the Watchers. We've been observing Earth for a long time, since before humans walked upright. John didn't like the way he talked. Calm, cold, like everything was part of a plan. Why are you watching? John asked. To learn, to protect, and sometimes to interfere. Kaya narrowed her eyes. You interfered with the lab? The man shook his head. No, that was not our doing. That project was human, but dangerous. So we watched and waited. John stepped forward. Then why show yourselves now? The Watcher looked at him. Because you woke something up. And now, it's not just about her anymore. He turned to Kaya. You are a hybrid, a bridge between species. But you are not the only one. Kaya's eyes widened. There are others like me? Yes, the Watcher said. And one of them has gone rogue. He handed John a second photo. It showed a city, smoke rising, cars flipped, power out. In the center, a figure walked through fire. She looked just like Kaya, only her eyes glowed red. It was the clone from the lab. She escaped, Kaya whispered. The Watcher nodded. She found another facility, took control. And now, she wants to finish the mission your father stopped. John stared at the photo. What mission? To reset the world, the Watcher said. Wipe out control. Rebuild using enhanced humans. Kaya shook her head. She's not human, she's a shell. True, the Watcher said. But humans are easy to control. Fear, anger, lies. She's using that. John asked. Then what do you want from us? The man's voice dropped. To stop her, you must find the original code, the first file. The memory that started it all. It's not in her, it's not in the lab, it's inside someone else. Kaya looked confused. Who? The Watcher looked straight at John. You. John stepped. Plus me? I'm just a mechanic, a guy from nowhere. No, the Watcher said. You're the son of Grant Holloway, the last man who held the source key, and he hid it, inside your mind, buried deep, protected by memory locks. Kaya turned to John, shocked. That's why they were watching you, she whispered. Not me. John was speechless. Then the Watcher stepped closer. She will come for you, the clone, the soldiers, even governments, because now you are the last gate. He handed John a device, small, round, like a coin. This will help you unlock it. But be warned, once you open the memory, there is no going back. Kaya stepped between them. What happens if he opens it? The Watcher said only one word. War. That night. John sat alone holding the device. Kaya watched from across the room, silent. Finally, she said, If you open it, they'll never stop hunting you. John looked at her. If I don't, they'll come anyway. He pressed the device to his temple. It blinked once, then everything went white. The memory that started it. All John stopped breathing, for just 1 second, not because of pain, because of everything. The moment he pressed the device to his temple, time fell apart. His mind didn't just unlock, it opened like a broken dam. He was no longer in the room. He was inside a memory, but not his. A desert, a crash site, and in the center, a girl, glowing, crying, reaching for help. Kaya, but not Kaya. The first one. John floated through scenes not meant for him. A secret base, doctors arguing, his father screaming, She's not a weapon, she's a child. Then another memory, this time from her eyes. Pain, wires, endless questions, and one man who always brought her food, a soldier, a good man, John's father. He taught her to smile, to laugh, to hope. He gave her a name, Kaya, but she wasn't supposed to survive. Project Echo's leaders voted to shut her down, so John's father ran, took her, hid her, changed her code, gave her one mission. Don't become what they built you to be. Become something more. Back in the motel, John gasped and dropped the device. His nose bled. Kaya rushed to him. What did you see? He looked at her, not with fear but understanding. You were the first, the real one. The rest, they copied you. But you were the spark. Kaya froze. I thought I was one of many. No, John said. You're the only one. The others are echoes. You're the source. Kaya's eyes filled with tears. I remember pieces, but I never knew the truth. John took her hand. My dad didn't just save you, he believed in you. Kaya nodded. And now I believe in me too. Suddenly a voice crackled from the motel's broken TV. It wasn't a broadcast. It was her, the red-eyed clone. "You've seen it now," she said. "The truth doesn't matter. The world is ready. We will rise." Kaya stood tall. "Then come," she whispered. John turned to her. "What are you doing?" She stepped outside. The sky was burning orange. Ships, dark and silent, began to appear above the town. "They're here," Kaya said. John grabbed a bag of tools. "Then let's give them something they didn't expect." Kaya looked at him, a spark in her eyes. "Hope?" "No," John said. "A fight." The first drone dropped. Kaya smashed it mid-air. She moved like lightning. John rewired streetlights to short enemy tech. People from the town, watchers, runaways, survivors, joined them. Kaya wasn't alone anymore. She had people. The final battle wasn't about saving one girl. It was about saving what made her human. Memory, choice, love. In the last moment, Kaya stood face to face with her clone. "Why do you fight them?" The clone asked. "They built you to rule." Kaya smiled. "No," she said. "They built me to obey, but I chose to be free." And with that, Kaya overloaded the enemy core, not with power, but with emotion, memories, every face, every name. Every second she had lived. The clone screamed, then shattered into dust. Days later, John stood beside Kaya on a quiet hill. She looked up at the stars. "I remember everything now," she said. "But I don't carry it alone." He smiled. "You never did." She looked at him. "I was found, lost, changed, and hunted. But in the end, I was loved."